see what's going on here. There we go. All right, how you guys doing? Welcome back. So, Fed Day, blah blah blah. Honestly, I couldn't even listen to it. I think it's useless. It's nothing more than to pump algos, right? Well, we see significant, you know, um, slowdown in Q1 because of the surge, blah blah blah. We're standing to back up the economy in any way we can. Whatever, dude. It's just it's like it's a shit show. It's crap. Is what it is. So I can't watch that stuff. Nothing in there that's gonna change anything, right? All right. What I do expect at some point is for them to increase QE. Um, They're buying more of those long dated bonds as we talked about before. So the short end is coming up a little bit. At some point, if it continues to go higher, I would expect that QE is going to come in a little bit stronger, maybe even double it, and then push down the short term rates. We'll see. We'll see. So let's start again. Yesterday, I don't know if you saw the video or not. I made a little video. I said today is going to be a bullish day. There's a lot of setups, bull flags, like this one right here, right? This is the equal weighted ETF. We're expecting this one to push higher. It's a nice, well-defined, um, uh, what do you call it? Bull flag. Okay. So it's good to go. So let's get started. All right. Still hasn't broken out yet, though. Okay. Still hasn't broken out. It has to break out. If it doesn't break out, it's a no-go. I think that should be understood. Dividend weighted S&P is weaker. Okay. It's not performing in the same manner. It's on the bottom of the F flag, trying to hold on. But you do have this going for it, right? That it keeps, pushing its way up here. Oops. Testing one, two, three, pulling back. And obviously, this is a cup and handle, right? Cup, handle. Look for this one eventually to push higher, but it has to break. It has to break. Otherwise, this thing is coming down. The VIX pulling back a little bit today. Okay, it's above that 22 area. But again, don't discount this move here, right? We've seen this before how it works out, so don't discount it. New York Stock Exchange bull flag still hasn't broken out, okay, but it's ready. It's ready. Gotta wait for the breakout. Dow Jones on the weaker side, right? Stuck there at that 30,000 and change, but keeps falling down. This is a wedge that is. Let me get this out of the way. That's the way it's supposed to look. Okay, that is supposed to resolve to the downside. Okay, hasn't done it yet. S&P 500 pushing back up. Okay, not as close to the all-time highs, but it's trying to hold on, correcting through time. That's a high base. High bases are usually bullish. Nasdaq all-time highs. Okay, and it's getting rejected as we speak. It's enough to make the news that it made an all-time high, and that's a lot of times that's enough marketing for the market to get people all excited. Oh, look, all-time highs. Woohoo! Let's go out and buy. Right? Remember, for them to unload, they got to get you in there. So this is incredibly bullish. Anytime a structure that is formed, okay, that's fully formed, it's all good to go. When it's supposed to resolve to the downside, because if it's pointing up, then it's going to resolve to the downside. If it goes the other way, then that's an incredibly bullish move, right? There's so much bullishness, it's not obeying the laws of the chart. And that's the problem with all this Fed QE tweets, vaccines, stimulus, blah, 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 every fucking day, that these charts become very difficult to trade. It's setting up everybody to think in one way. Just buy Don't overthink it. Buy, 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 buy. And one day, this is going to hurt a lot of people. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. When is it going to happen? I don't fucking know. But, it's going to happen because it always happens. This is a bubble. And, is it a big enough bubble to burst? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Don't know. But eventually it will pop. And the problem is that when it pops, what are you going to do? Print? Well, you're printing now. Remember, um, early on, I kept saying, the first thing is going to go, it's airlines, and it's going to be retails, right? Then stocks and so forth. You cannot lock down the number one, two, three, four economies of the world and expect to have economic growth. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? We went into the lockdowns. Oh, we got to open up, crying, oh, open up. Yes, but if you open up and you don't deal with the virus, okay, what's going to happen? You're going to prolong it. You're going to really create an economic problem. That's why it was so damn important to lock down. And I'm not saying like, oh, lock down the bars and, oh, 10 o'clock, you got to go back into your home. Okay, don't go to the bars. That's not a lockdown. Um, that's stupidity. That's just you're trying to negotiate with a virus that's black or white. It's going to infect. It doesn't care about politics. Doesn't care about anything. So when they were not locking down, they were not dealing with the virus. They're sitting there talking about liberty. It's my liberty to spit on people. Why? Why? It only kills 2,000 people back then, right? Remember that, right? And if they did lock down and did it properly, we wouldn't have this problem. And because we wouldn't have this problem, oh, it's conspiracy. It's Bill Gates. They're controlling us. Oh, see, it was only 5,000 that died, or 40,000, or 30,000 that died. It was nothing. It was because this is the way people are. They're fucking stupid. They don't understand. They don't understand. So we've taken something that we can literally control very, very well had we locked down properly for 5 damn weeks. Okay? The vaccine would have came. We would have been with very low numbers, working from a very low base, right? Maybe get a spike with flu season. Vaccine comes, done. It's over. Now it's all over the place, and now you have the Fed. Oh, Q1 is not going to be good because of the surge. Oh, I don't know, right? It is sheer stupidity that we have to kill 300,000 people, print endless of trillions of dollars, endless of QE, endless of lending programs, endless, endless, endless. And the result is what? What is the result? The result is the retail numbers are starting to roll over again. Long-term unemployment is spiking. The bankruptcies are going to start to come. Up to 30 million people are on the verge of getting evicted. Not that they will. I'm just saying it's on the verge, the fact, right? You got so many businesses that have been destroyed. You have pumped so much fucking money into the markets. And if it's not even the pumping of the money, if the government is going to guarantee, right, certain loans, right? Can you make your next loan? Yes, that's good enough for me. I'm buying that stock. I don't care. You got enough money? Fine, right? You can solve a liquidity problem, but you cannot solve an insolvency problem. The government cannot do that. You see, and that's the problem. That you're going to create a whole bunch of zombie banks. I'm sorry, zombie companies, and these zombie companies are going to do what when this is all over? Maximize profit? How? They got so much liabilities that exceed assets. They're going to be paying down debt. They're going to be chasing their tails trying to pay down debt. And if they're trying to pay down debt, how are they going to maximize profit and create jobs and create innovation and so forth? They're not. They're not. Right? So with stimulus, $600 checks, extended unemployment, blah 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 blah, whatever the fuck, retail sales are still falling now. Right? Capacity utilization still weak. You got massive problems. Massive problems. and the Fed is sitting here cheerleading. What the fuck I'm gonna go listen to him for? To bullshit me more? To swell up my liver? Swell up my balls? Fuck him. You know? Fuck him. Anyway, enough of that. Um, Incredibly bullish on the small stocks, right? Okay, small cap stocks. When incredibly bullish pullback, perhaps they're testing and push up a little bit more. Okay, but if it does, then it's off to the races, huh? Transportation average is not really doing that good. You got an M pattern in place. We talked about that yesterday. The VIX and the dollar are what's signaling caution. Okay. IPOs. This is all the IPOs in the last 2 years. Right, starting to weaken. It's broken through time, so you could get another pop here, right? And then this will end up being an expansion, all right? But for now, it's not doing a whole hell of a lot. Now remember, a lot of these stocks, they're up 50, 100, 150, 200, 250% for the year, right? So when you see this supply of stock coming into the market and it's expanding, remember, they're always going to give you supply. So long as there's demand, they're going to give you the market is going to give you supply. And as long as this keeps happening, right, eventually they're going to give too much supply and then everything tumbles. Okay. So that's another negative. But for right now, IPOs are not doing anything. The fags, we were talking about this bull flag. We were expecting this to push one more up. It's doing it. Again, what was it trying to do here, right? What was it trying to do? It was trying to fall apart, right? How good of a job did it do? Not very, right? So those are the two questions you got to ask yourself. What's it trying to do? How good of a job is it doing? It didn't happen. Pop back into structure and boom, off we go. All right. Let's see how much this runs. It's up 1.19% for the day. Europe doing really good. Now remember, Europe is considered to be value, right, relative to the U.S. If you were to compare this to the U.S., look at the difference. I mean, it's back here in 2014. They were, kind of going together, and then U.S. took off and Europe did nothing. Okay, so this is considered value. So now the catch-up play is okay. Let's go out and buy Europe, right? So let me get this out of the way. Where is it? All right, so it's breaking incredibly. Not incredibly. This is breaking this wedgie-looking formation. If we just remove the downtrend, so look for higher prices in Europe, UK. Okay, we were talking about this trend line yesterday. It broke out, still in an F flag. Germany is about to break out. The head test is over. It surpassed it. So Germany is now bullish, right? Again, what was it trying to do? Trying to correct. How good of a job did it do? Not very. Back into structure, boom, off it goes. Like clockwork. This is textbook stuff. Denmark, doing really nice. Incredibly bullish. Incredibly bullish. See it? Boom, wakes up and goes way above it. World Stock Market Index continues to push higher. Right? VT is the ETF that reflects that. Jets still have a way to go, but look at it. Look at the way it's coming down. Very tight, very consolidated. This is going to break to the upside. Okay? And when it does, as soon as this breaks, you want to take this to the upside. All right? There's going to be a nice little trade just to the previous high. Let me fix that. You can make a nice little move about 4.5%. Okay, goes a little bit more than that. You start getting to that 10% range. Blah blah blah. China. Okay, it's been holding this trend line. We said eventually this is going to break to the upside. It's breaking right now. Not very convincingly, but it is breaking. Q, this is the one we were talking about now for, I guess, a week. These are the fags of China, and we marked it. And go back some of our videos, you can see it. We're looking for this one to push up as well. Okay, you can get some nice gains there. Nifty 50 continues to push higher. Japan still hasn't broken out. Wait for the breakout here. Okay. Taiwan pulling back, starting to push higher. Cosby pushing higher. Saudi. It's got this flag. Let me put the flag up here now. Put it there. Okay. This is another one. KSA is the ETF. All right. Look for one more up here in Saudi. Australia, the same thing. Look for this to break out to the upside. Brazil breaking up. Um, Emerging markets breaking out. Um, the BRICS, right? Brazil, Russia, India, China. Look for this one to push higher as well. And real estate, a little funky move, but real estate is really weird, very weird. And if you look at this ETF, you're going to see like it's American Towers, and it's not. You're not really buying um, homes, and so it's a weird kind of ETF. Maybe I'll show it to you here and later on. Financials bull flag. They still haven't broken out. Now remember, if you look at the value S&P, it is 40% weighted to financials. Forget about financials doing anything meaningful. It's a waste of time. They're not going to do a whole hell of a lot. Okay. Sure, they might push up higher, but you want to be involved in other areas of the market than value right now. You don't want so much exposure to banks. Uh, the more pure banking ETF, same thing. Okay, oil pushing towards the top of this F flag. Right, so everything is fine, nothing to short here. Gold, okay, continues to push higher. Right, came back. What this now starting to look like is a 1, 2, 3 to the upside. Let's see how it performs up here. Uh, Ultimately, we believe this will continue to go higher. Okay, so let's see how this is going to play out. But silver looks a lot better. Look at silver. What a beautiful, mwah, 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 nice breakout. Kisses to silver, and I don't trade silver usually, but you know the setup is so compelling. It looks so nice. Beautiful little breakout. You got to take it. This is free fucking money. You know. All right. Commodities overall up 0.5% today, looking really good. Again, remember this bull flag here? We said this is going to go higher. Well, sure enough, it has. Commodities overall pushing higher. Precious metals are still in this flag-looking formation. Expect this one to break up and out. Base metals pulling back a little bit today, but still very bullish. Steel continues to be very bullish. And we've been talking about this commodity thing for how long now, right? Been talking about it for months. Wait for the commodities. They're going to start fucking ripping. Palladium, right? It's maybe needs to correct a little bit. Copper doing fine. Agriculture, a little slow, a little bit slow. But ultimately, I think this should push higher. Sugarcane breaking out, but again, it's a bull flag setup. Right? A little funky, but it's a bull flag. Corn, right, pushing up, a little funky. Wheat, it had its correction, popped. Waiting for all the other ones to start to push higher. Soybeans looking really good. Okay, very bullish. Bitcoin. Yeah, baby, yeah. Oh, Bitcoin is up so much. Oh, don't buy Bitcoin. Oh, yeah, okay. Go back 2 weeks ago when we had this big down day and everybody came out. All the experts came out. Oh, look at Bitcoin. Oh, what a crap. Oh, it's bullshit. Oh. Go back. And it was Thanksgiving Day. I made a special video about Bitcoin. This is not, don't be afraid of this. This is normal. Okay. Where are we at now? 20,800. On its way to 27,000. Believe me. You'll see. You'll see. All right. Litecoin. Um, Nothing there. These things I stay away from. Perhaps you want to get involved in this if it breaks up above 93, 4-ish. You might want to get involved in that because what's going to happen is you got the thrust up move. You're getting this consolidation here, right? It's building that pressure for the next move up. And next move should take it above 100 easily. And possibly come up to about 146. So you got about, I don't know, 50% or 30% move up. So you can make some nice coinage. And then we'll see from there, right? Because remember, it's broken out of this bigger term, uh, bigger trend line. And I thought that this was going to break out here, right? Didn't happen, but ultimately it did. Ethereum, right? We've been talking about this wave 3 up, okay? 1, 2, 3, right? Ripple, it'll go up, but stay away from those things. Dollar, new lows. Well, what did I tell you? There's a little bear flag in here. Okay, if it breaks out, that's fine. But I hear a lot of people are like, it's only down to 90. Don't worry about it. It's just a normal correction. Blah blah blah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, but look at the context of what it's falling. It's not falling because it's just a normal correction, right? It's not. It's not like this, right? The economy here was fine, and they had a correction. This can lead to much deeper problems. Much deeper problems. So don't let them downplay it on you. USD Japan, dollar's falling. Is that good for their exports? I don't think so. Mm-mm. Nice breakout in Euro USD. How long we've been talking about this one, right? Long time. Look for this one to continue to push higher. The pound, we're still waiting for this one to break out. Inverse head and shoulders. Turkish lira still holding on. Dollar still holding on with Russian ruble. USD CAD. No new lows today, but it's grinding lower. Grindy put you to sleep. They'll kill you, Grindy. Again, Australian dollar, long-term hold. New Zealand dollar, long-term hold, kicking ass. Dollar falling against the peso. And the dollar is falling against the yuan. It broke down from this little mini flag here. Okay, look for lower downside. Probably down about 638. Okay, and Euro Index. Again, we've been talking about this for quite a long time. I even mentioned it yesterday. You want to take this to the long side. Okay. How about the 10-year? Look at that. Boom. Breakout, pulling back. Expect this one to push higher as well. All right. What else? What else? Okay, IBB. Right, this is biotech. Making a little pullback. It was a gap up, so that's fine. All right, hotels are really kicking ass against the airlines, and it's breaking the longer-term trend line. Okay, so let's see how well these hotels are going to perform. Um, they're not as capital intensive as airlines are, so I kind of get that. But with airlines down 60% from the previous year, how well could these things possibly do, right? Royal Caribbean, still in a correction. Norwegian, breaking down, trying to hold the trend line. Carnival, same thing. All right, let's look at the fags. Fags, Apple broke out from this previous resistance area. It's about to go incredibly bullish. All right, it's up just 2%, but yesterday was up like 5.5%. So it's doing good. Amazon, boom, nice breakout. Nice breakout. So this one you can actually take, right? Get about 8% to the upside, test previous highs. Um, if this continues to follow through, I doubt it's gonna this double top is gonna hold, right? Microsoft, boom, right out. Okay. Facebook, lagging. I expect this one to push higher eventually. Netflix continues to grind higher. Google, just correcting, just correcting. I'm assuming it'll do something like this. Nvidia, sideways. Tesla, weak, weak. Okay. Again, it's trying to make that M pattern. Okay. Trying to do an M pattern. How good of a job is it doing it? Not very. PayPal, beautiful breakout. We marked that yesterday. Exactly. And now it's up 4% for the day. I wanted to get involved in this, but I couldn't. So now this is incredibly bullish. Okay, so look for a new wave to come in PayPal. That's going to probably, run for a while. Okay, it's probably going to run for a while. Let's see how it behaves tomorrow. Skip that. All right, airlines, Delta, right? Again, if it breaks out, you want to buy it. It's going to break out at some point. American Airlines, same thing. Um, Southwest broke out a little bit more through time, but eventually it's going to go higher. Alaska is breaking out through time. JetBlue, I don't like them as much, but whatever. Um, they can also break out to the upside, of course. Spirit, um, big big drop and then pop back up. Look for this one to push higher. Allegiant, look for this one to go higher. Right, possibly breaking out right now. Hawaiian still hasn't broken out. SkyWest broke out, pulled back. Ryanair just pulling back. Nothing there. EasyJet needs some time to uh, need some more time to push higher. Copa kind of rolling over. China Eastern breaking down. Skip that one. All right, Starbucks, I skip that one. All right, that's about it. So again, the message of the market is you have some stocks that are pushing through, others that are not. Some ETFs are pushing through, others are not. Overall, it's bullish, right? That's what we said yesterday. Sure enough, we're making all-time highs today. All right, there it goes. There it goes. Okay. So look now for this one. For Nasdaq, it's in the clear, right? You got the fangs firing on all cylinders. It's above the previous high. Uh, it's above all the resistance. Oops. It's above the resistance. Above this airline. It's above this whole structure here. Okay. Breaking out. Now that's it. Uh, let's see how much it can run. But it's in the clear. It's in the clear. Nobody's going to short this market, that's for sure. So who's going to stop it, right? Nobody. In previous highs, you had this potential where people would step in and sell it or take profits or whatever the case was. It's not happening now. And when that happens, you get that full on euphoria going. Now you can take this bitch to the upside. You're in the clear. All right, so it's 3:37. If anybody has any questions, I'll take them. All right. So look for this. Look for NDX to grind higher. Right. So long as it remains above this, what's the number here? 12,673. As long as it remains above that, you're in the clear. Go. Go, go, go. Balls deep. Right. All right. So let me show you something here with the bond market. You're going to see that China has been reducing their holdings of treasuries consistently over the last 12 months. Okay. And at the same time, you got Japan. Japan is increasing their uh, dollar reserves. Now, when you look at the total amount, okay, grand total, 7.68. Now, if you go back to about, I guess, 2010 or something, this wasn't much lower, 6.5. Right? So you haven't seen an increase of treasuries in a very long time, and I'm talking about in substantial ways, substantially. Sure, maybe it's about 500 to a trillion more, but that's not relative to the amount of debt we have issued. It's not that much more. Okay, it's not that much more. So again, it doesn't mean that they don't have more dollars. They have them. It's just not in bonds, right? They're just sitting in reserves at the central bank. That's it. All right. December exports really low, really low. Still remain very low, and that's for December. Unemployment still remains very, not unemployment, employment remains very, very low. Okay, taking a look at the earnings yield of the S&P 500, down 2.68. This is the lowest reading we've seen. And remember that you have core inflation. Where is it at? Where is core inflation? This is PPI. Look at that. See how PPI right here? Right, starting to roll over. This is with stimulus. Imagine without stimulus what would happen. Fuck me, right? There's core inflation. And core inflation is about 1.2 something like that. So you got now interest rates. Oh, here it is. 165. Okay. So you got November core inflation of 1.65. You got the earnings yield of the S&P of 2.68. Okay, so you're barely making, 1% on inflation. Now, obviously, you compare the 1.65 to the 10-year, and the 10-year is already negative. Okay, so how long is it going to be? I mean, if we run off to the moon from here on in the Nasdaq, every tick up, that earnings yield keeps falling and falling and falling. You're going to go negative interest rates in stock earnings relative to inflation. So, um, housing, right, starting to roll over here a little bit. But again, this is more arithmetic. This stuff here. You're gonna get a drop, then you're gonna get the pop, right? Don't read too much into these things. I'm sure Logan is like, oh, the America is the greatest ever, blah blah blah. Look at these numbers. Here's real estate starting to roll over, right? W2. Look at industrial production, barely holding on. That's going to start rolling over. Empire State Manufacturing rolling over. Uh, Interest rates rising. Leading indicator, very weak. Still contracting. Consumer sentiment going sideways. We talked about inflation. Weekly earnings. This is a bullshit chart. All right, there's the tick up and weekly unemployment starting to tick up. See it? Let's see what it's going to be tomorrow. That's going to be interesting. And remember, we went from census, right? People getting laid off from the census, 176,000, something like that. Then we went into November. You start hiring people for the holidays, Black Friday, you know, Monday, Cyber Monday Dicks, whatever it is, and um, I don't know. I don't know. And it's ticking up. It shouldn't be doing that. Taking a look at the air travel, right? 552,000. Very weak. Very weak. All right, let's look at the sectors for today. The internals. All right, discretionary, good. Technology, good. Financials, eh. Consumer staples, good. All right, looks good. What's lagging? Utilities, good. Industrials, okay. So that's fine. That's, generally okay. 1 second, I have a phone call. Be right back. 1 second. Let me put you back on NASDAQ. All right, I'm back with you. Yeah. So, um, so the internals look good for today, right? They're lined up the way they should, and I'm wondering now if it's going to be going from one cycle to the other, meaning you're going from market leaders to broad economy, market leaders back to broad economy. If it's going to start doing one of those jobs back and forth. If we get a pullback today, right, you can get a little bit of a sell-off. Okay, uh, you will look for the next move up, and the next move up is when you want to take it to the long side. Okay. What else? What else? For Europe, air travel, little bit of an improvement. There's a little bit of a kind of flattening out here and pushing up just slightly. Okay, don't forget that their projections, they're down 64%, by the way, their air travel. Their projections are not, from 2020 to 2024. Flights are not going to return to normal until 2024. They'll be closed in 2023, but it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. Um, you look at the world market, very choppy, right? It's all over the place. So it is what it is. Egypt and Korea have been down slightly. Everybody else is either flat to green. All right. Let me see if I can show you that. What is that value? I forgot what it was. SPVX, I think. Ah, shit. I can't remember now. Does it say value? Maybe this will help us. S P V thing is this one. Yeah. Yep, that's the one. See it? See how financials are 40%? Look at that. See it? So you want to go buy value. What the fuck? Are you going to go buy Bank of America? That's not value. That's garbage. And then you have some consumer, and then industrials. Okay, industrials are fine, but I don't see how that's value. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. It's garbage. All right. So nice little thrust up move. Now remember, all-time highs are potential areas of reversal. So you want to make sure, you got to make sure that you don't let this sucker start to come back down. You don't want, if this starts to come back, if this area is violated, okay, you got to wait. You got to stop out, wait for it to come back up. Anything above this area, you want to take to the long side. Okay. Think of it like a rocket that's trying to take off, right? Initially, you got all that thrust, right? You like my sound effects? You got all that thrust, all that fire pushing out, and it slowly starts to climb, right? Starts to go towards the heavens, and sometimes it come right back down and crash, and boof, there goes the rocket. Other times it continue, okay, up to the moon. So where we are right now, think of it again like a rocket taking off. You don't know if it's going to crash or if it's going to keep going. Those are the most crucial seconds of the launch. Okay, so just be careful with it. Be careful. All right, let's take a look at the. There we are. All right, so the trend remains intact. Okay, dollar down, stocks up. Dollar down, stocks up. So you gotta be involved in the euro if you want to really maximize uh, your return on investment. Now let's do this one more time and see how this is behaving. Okay, let's see how this is behaving. And still, see, it hasn't broken out. So this is the Nasdaq um, adjusted for the dollar depreciation, right? And I said this yesterday. Remember, anytime that the currency goes down in any nation, doesn't matter. Everything in that nation is devalued. Everything, stocks, real estate, everything goes, down the tubes. Your wages. So you wanna always pay close attention to the currency especially when you're doing emerging markets. You really have to pay attention to that. So even with today's move and Nasdaq higher, you're still not breaking out to all-time highs. And that, again, to me, you got to be cautious. You got to be cautious with that because you really want this to push out, right? Even dollar adjusted doesn't matter. You want it to push out. Not doing it. How about the S&P? Same thing, right? Same thing. So nominally, yeah, it's rising, but inflation adjusted for the dollar depreciation, eh, not doing it. Not doing it. So we talked about the Chinese fangs, right? That worked out really nice. PayPal did really nice today, although I missed it. We didn't talk about Uber and Tesla. What's Tesla doing? Not a whole hell of a lot, right? Not a whole hell of a lot. Again, trying to do that M pattern. Okay, how about Uber? All right, Uber's falling apart, see? And you break the top, you're going to break the bottom, right? So here, We broke the top here. Now we're breaking the bottom. Let's see how deep this goes. All right. If it bounces here, then you're going to have an expansion of the structure, right? Then it'll be an expansion. So let's see. Let's see Tesla versus NDX. How is that doing? All right, starting to come down a little bit. Still high basing, but it is up against that previous high. Not pushing through. Anything else that sticks out? Um, no, nothing else really sticks out. Biggest mover, Litecoin and Ethereum for today. Bitcoin is up 7%. Ethereum is up 5.966%, and Ripple is up 10%. Silver is up 3.5%. Right. All right, another 6 minutes. Let's see what it does in the last 2 minutes. All right, there it is. There's the breakdown. So the new all-time high is 12,700. All right, let's see how, if it can hold here or not. You get a horrendous number tomorrow in weekly unemployment claims, and guess what? Everything goes to fucking shit, right? And that's the problem with these markets. They get pumped up, and then boom, you get some crazy shit. So be wary of that. And that's why we have that rule. It's got to maintain and hold above that 12,677. It's got to do it. Otherwise, forget it. Forget it. I miss my friend Alessandro today. Where is he? Yep. Bitcoin is flying, baby. To the moon. To the moon. It's going to go to 27,000. You'll see. At least. At least. It gets enough momentum going. I can see it easily above 30,000. It's a lot of moolah, bro. Let me see. Uh, haven't checked this for a while. Google Trends. Google Trends. See, still, look how low it is. All-time highs, and the trend is very weak. And that's as of December 6th. Okay. So the trend is up for sure, but nowhere where it should be. See, when this starts to, take off and everybody and their mom is, Googling Bitcoin, then we'll probably be at the top. We're not there yet. Keep an eye on Europe. Keep an eye on Europe. That's going to be the catch-up play. In fact, let me do this. VGK. Oops. VGK divided by NDX. Yeah, a little bit of a slowdown, right? A little bit of a slowdown. Maybe a structure above a structure, right? We'll see. We'll see. All right, last 2 minutes. Let's see what it does. At this point, to do volume by price is almost worthless because you're at all-time high, so there's nothing up there. Okay. All right. All right. Small caps down 0.3. Nasdaq is up 0.6. S&P is up 0.2. Dow Jones is down 0.1. New York Stock Exchange is flat. And VIX is not doing a whole hell of a lot. Right, there it is. See, it's failing, right? Now we're back below that previous high again. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. You gotta be able to hold. If not, all right, there's market close. All right, so it didn't close above the previous high. It went through it, came back, didn't close above the previous high. So that's not a good sign typically. It didn't have enough strength, right? So we'll see tomorrow. Okay, so the same rules are going to apply. As long as it can go above that 12,677, hold, you're scot free. If it doesn't, start looking for short setups. All right. For right now, again, there's a lot of sectors and stocks that did push through today. There's a couple of other ones that are ready to go. They haven't broken out yet. Got to wait for the breakout and then take them long. And perhaps this might end up being what they call a stock pickers market. You know, malaquias. If it's going to start to go, it's going to go. It doesn't matter, stock pickers or not. It's going to go. Otherwise, start looking for down moves. All right. That's it, guys. Thank you very much. Don't forget to come down to patreon.com/RealMacro. Subscribe. Don't forget to like. I appreciate your time. I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll see you then. All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.